G'day, we're back after yesterday. Yesterday was a disaster. The more I think about it, that beer, it just wasn't good. I don't know. It tasted fake or something. I don't know. It just wasn't good. All right, save the tote. If anyone hasn't got their shirts, they are coming. Mine took about 4 months or something to get here. It's a long story. I won't go through it now. But mine did get here eventually. I've had it for a while now, probably 6 months or more. Be patient, it's coming. If you haven't seen it, they have got their own video channel now, the Tote guys, the Last Chance guys. It's not always riveting watching, but I actually use it to go to sleep too. I do, I put it on and I usually fall asleep watching it on my little iPad thing. Yep, I'm being weird again because the camera's focusing on the shirt and not on my head. Let's go. We are at number 23, the second last. It's BentSpoke, which are a great brewery, right? And there's a bit of history. I don't know if it's very well known, but a little bit of Bintani are behind BentSpoke. But yeah, well, it doesn't matter. They have some great beers. This one is Barley Griffin, which I assume, I've only been to Canberra a few times, you know. Life's too short to go there more than a few times. There's too many politicians that we all hate, or that I hate. I hate, you hate, we all hate politicians that are just clueless to what's going on in the world, as you all know. Anyway, we're not going to go into it. This is Barley Griffin, and I think, isn't that a lake or something? Lake something Griffin, Barley, whatever it is, I don't know. But it's a Canberra Pale Ale, born and brewed in Canberra. We won't hold that against it, even though we should. Focusing on that made any difference. Looks like I'm in the dark. Anyway, we've got to go. We've only get one chance with these beers. Here is my glass today. It's the Curious Craft one again. And let's get it in there. I'm not sure I've had this. It's very possible I have over the years, but not very often because I usually go for the IPAs or the other ones I've talked about earlier, weeks ago, which was the Crankshaft, I think. Whatever it is, I don't know. Let's have a look. It's a little bit clearer than most of the other beers I've had. Still a slight haze, the slightest haze. I'm going to push this one and see if there is a slug. Because I think, oh no, there is. I was going to say there might not be in their brewery, but the slug. Can you see the slug lurking around the top? I just got a little bit of junk from the can. And that's going to kill the head, right? That head was okay. The junk in it is going to kill it. Don't know why I'm going dark. When people say, oh, a little bit of yeast in your beer is okay, it's not. It's not. Unless you're bottle conditioned, you don't want it there. That's not good for it. Tastes bad. Yeast can be very bitter. And it's a head killer. As you saw, that had quite a nice head. As soon as that gunk went in there, it was like disappeared. That's quite a nice aroma though. I can't pick what hop it is. I'm guessing there's a mix in there, but it's quite nice. It's not overpowering. It's just, I nearly said floral again. I hate that word. It's just nice. A nice light aroma. Oh, I didn't expect that. I'm not even quite sure what that is. It's nice. It's wow, it's a very different aroma. It's something that I'm not used to, and not in a bad way. It's just it's pleasant. It's pleasant. Wow, very easy drinking, refreshing. It's dry enough that you want more straight away. Wow, and it's really carbonated, a lot more than any of the other beers have been, which is a good thing. I like a carbonation in a beer. And I don't know if you can see it. I do have a camera on the side here that I haven't used much. And the battery's just about to run out, but it is pouring the bubbles, and I don't think this glass is etched. I'm pretty sure it isn't, but it's acting like an etched glass. That means that for me, for a beer like this, it's really good to have that carbonation. Because there's not many of the craft breweries do. And it's a weird thing that they don't, because I don't, I was going to say oh, you know, I'm hopeless with words. Colorolate? What word am I looking for? I don't match high carb beers to bad beers or to macro beers or whatever. Yes, macro beers are normally higher carb, like what? Because most of them are pilsners and, you know, lagers and things like that. Well, they should be. But that certainly doesn't mean that you shouldn't highly carb your craft beers or your beers you brew at home, because it can make them taste better. It can make the aroma come out, makes them bright. It can slow your drinking. For me, it even slows my drinking down a little bit. If it's sort of kind of flat, I'm just like, oh, let's get this in, and it's kind of like drinking water. That's interesting. I can't pick the hops, and that's why I think there's obviously a mixture. It's fruity, but again, I can't pick what fruit it is. That's interesting. I would try this again, for sure. I'm going to keep my eye out. Because I only ever see at the pubs when I go up to New South Wales the crankshaft or whatever, which, you know, I'm never disappointed. It's usually the beer I go for. That's interesting. I like that it's dry, it's not heavy. I don't know what the alcohol is. 4.2. It drinks like a heavier beer, which is a good thing. 4.2 is pretty good. You could slam a few, as I start to slur, you could slam a few 4.2s down without having to worry. Yeah, I like that it's different. I like that it's carbonated. I like that it's drinking clean. There's nothing wrong with the beer. The head sort of died, but I do think that was because of the can slug, because it poured really nicely, and it wasn't until you know, the yeast. Some breweries don't get it so much, but I think it depends how long you leave it in the bright tank. But then with these beers that are kind of hoppy, you want to get them out pretty quick. You don't want them sitting around. Nothing worthwhile comes easily. Taking the familiar road can rob life of its flavour. So at BentSpoke, we take a more adventurous route, knowing all too well that it'll blend a few spokes along the way. It'll bend a few spokes along the way. Wish they made these cans easier to read. That's white writing on a silver can. Oh, sorry, I'm blind. I was all right till the diabetes. Diabetes is in control now, but yeah, my eyes are stuffed. Brewed on, what does it say? Brewed on Nabunwal country, is it? Buckwal. It's hard for me to read that. I've got one eye closed like I'm blind. Brewed on Nagunawal. Is it Nagunawal? Something like that. I might have mentioned earlier that my heritage is part Aboriginal, or Koori, or it depends which part of the country you're from, which words you're allowed to use. Down here, they're very, very touchy. But up north, Koori's fine, normally, and Aboriginal. But yeah, people think that they look at me and go, "Oh, your skin's bloody white. How can you call yourself Aboriginal?" Well, my dad was, and my grandfather was, and my great grandmother was, and my great great grandmother was. Like, it's there. You can't ignore it. But we were Gamilarey, and there's like the numbers keep changing all the time. You know, there might be 200, 300 different mobs. And I know nothing about any other mob. I don't know enough about my own mob, which I'm trying to learn, because I've been separated for a long time from them. But yeah, I don't know anything about them. And that's not a bad thing, but I like learning. It's interesting, isn't it? I think it's interesting. Whether it's just interesting. You can't deny your heritage. What are you going to do? People have a go at me for it, but it's like, far out. My grandfather, my the person I looked up to, you know, as a kid that I really loved. You can't deny that. He had to hide it so he could get work as a kid, and that's where a lot of our history was hidden for a long time. Because you couldn't get work in Sydney if you were. Well, it was much harder. He did 3 tours as well. So I totally respect him. He's my hero, if I have one. All right, take it easy. That changed pace, didn't it? Well, I just read the thing. You know, I think it gets a bit overdone sometimes, but you know, each to their own. Do with it what you will. One more. Sad we're finished. It's always a bit of it's exciting to start, and then it's hard work, right? Everyone goes, oh, it's easy to drink beer. Yeah, it's hard work though. You got to video and make sure it's right because you only get one shot at it. Because if I pour that beer wrong, or the camera stuffs up, or the battery runs out, I've lost it all, and that's it. And then, you know, and editing and all that sort of stuff. But we're nearly there. One more day. Take it easy. Much love to you and your family over Christmas. I know you're all busy at this time of year. You might not even see these, and you might especially might not see the Christmas Eve one, which is tomorrow. If you don't, have a Merry Christmas. I would definitely try it again. It tastes different to a lot of, it's kind of reminded me a bit of a Hop Nation beer. Some of Hop Nation's IPAs have this flavour. And that's not surprising because they both use the same supplier. But there's something, they know what they're doing at BentSpoke, like Hop Nation do. And there's something very hop, like, and it's no disrespect to BentSpoke at all, but I'm just used to drinking it. Hop Nation's up the road from me, right? So I drink there, no, I wouldn't say a lot, but more often than, a lot of other breweries. And there's something very Hop Nation-y about this, which is a good thing. Yeah, that's a good one. Take it easy. See you tomorrow.